In this lesson, we'll continue working on some of the geometric details for our factory. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we worked on creating a recession for these windows right here. And I went ahead and filled those in with some rectangular shaped windows here and just tiled that pattern and repeated it here through each one of these recessed areas. Now, I left a little bit of room here in case we want to do something for the roof over the office portion of the building. In fact, we haven't touched the roofs at all yet, and we will here in an upcoming lesson. But right now, I want to come over here and focus on sort of the shipping side. Now, we want to carve out a portion of this sidewalk so maybe semis can pull their trucks in here and load up at the dock. But in order to do that, we need to know where our doors are going to be positioned because we want to carve it out in sort of a straight fashion from those doors. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and begin building them right now. I want to go ahead and grab my pencil tool, and we'll grab let's go ahead and grab a 20 brick brush here. So you can see here how useful these brushes really are once you get going and working on another illustration. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that horizontal here. And let's say that we want these garage doors to be 20 bricks wide here. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe say that we have room for probably 3 of them here, 3 of them comfortably. So we'll go ahead and maybe put another one over here by copying that. Now I'm going to go ahead and nudge that over a little bit. I'm going to nudge it over 2, down 1, over 2, down 1. And repeat that a couple more times here just to give me some space in there. Now I know that I put 4 bricks of space in there just by how many times I nudge that. So I want to do that again right over here. Always nudging over 2 and down 1 in that 2 to 1 pattern. So we get the exact right positioning for our line. It's exactly in line with these other lines, and we get the same amount of space between each of these doors. Okay, so we've got all of our, at least the tops of the doors drawn here. Let's go ahead and position these. Now, what I'd like to do is maybe build a dock out beneath them here, and maybe just a normal door over here for people leaving the shipping area. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here, and you can see here that we're playing with our mask a little bit. These are some of the initial lines that we created. So I'm getting to the point where it'd probably be a good idea to go ahead and flatten that mask down and commit to it. So the whole reason we were using the mask is so we didn't destroy any of the existing line work, but at this point it's really becoming more troublesome to deal with cleaning up the mask. So I tell you what, we'll go ahead and clean that mask up one more time here, then we're going to go ahead and commit to this. So let's go ahead and grab our brush tool again with the 1 pixel brush. Or excuse me, I said brush tool, rather the pencil tool. And we're going to go ahead and mask out this line right here. And let's go ahead and mask this line out. Then we'll clean up our existing line work here. Alright, so we've got those positioned here, and I think I've got enough room. I may come in and reposition those in a little bit, but what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and commit to this mask really quick. So all we have to do that is come over here and just right click on this masked layer, and I'm going to apply the layer mask just like so. Now we have no more mask, and all of our line work is been committed to, so none of that line work is hiding anymore. Don't have to deal with cleaning up our mask. We're not having that problem with the layer that the sidewalk's on, so don't have to really worry about that much right now. So let's come in here and make sure we've got this in the right position. We may want to nudge that over 1 more pixel, just so we get that lined up with the baseline of the building here. And, you know, I may come over a couple more. I think that'll work pretty well. Now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate those and make the bottom of the doors here. Now, keep in mind the bottom of the doors is not going to be flush with the ground level. They're going to be flush with this deck that we have yet to build. So we're going to put it right about there, I think. And let's go ahead and deselect those. And we're going to connect these up with some vertical lines. So we'll go ahead and just draw those vertical lines in here. Just like so. Now, in the real world, these doors would probably not be flush with the building. They would probably be recessed in just a little bit. So if we wanted to come in and recess those, we could totally do that. And it'd be really easy. All we need to do is come over here and just lasso up this bottom. Let's go ahead and make a copy of that. Now at this point, really depending on how far we want to recess those in, I know we just moved that a couple of pixels, but I think that that's about as far as I want to recess these in. So let's go ahead and deselect that. Let's go ahead and clean it up by erasing that pixel, and then we'll draw a vertical line up here, just like so. And there we go. We've completed that recessed area there. Now let's go ahead and just duplicate that. And we're just going to drop it right on top of our other 2 doors here. instead of worrying about drawing those again, we're just going to duplicate that and just lay it right on top there. Just like so. And you can see that we've got all three of those recessed like we want. Now we'd probably ideally want to come in and erase away this bottommost line right here, but I tell you what, before we do that, let's go ahead and create some of the segments in the door. And I'm going to do that just simply by lassoing this top line up here. And make sure we don't have that extra pixel there. And let's go ahead and make a copy of that. And see if we're not going to go for precision here. We're going to go for, just about right. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drop these in place so that they're pretty evenly spaced out throughout the door. If we need to come in and make some changes later, we always can. But as a matter of fact, it may be that we need to move those up just a little bit. So tell you what, we'll do that really fast. We'll just select all these lines that we just copied. Just like so. And we're going to nudge those up 1 pixel. Just like that. So we've created the segments of the garage door itself. Now at this point we could come in and let's grab our eraser tool and we're going to get rid of this line down here because we're going to copy this door over to the other two again. Let's go ahead and leave it just about like that. Lasso that up, and again we're just basically doing this once, and for these repeating details we're coming in and making copies of this. So you can see we're going to have to clean that line up at the bottom on each one of these just because it's not being overlapped by the information we're copying on top of it, but that's okay. No worries. Erasing that is really quite simple, so we'll just erase that there. And we're ready to go ahead and build the dock portion. Now, really, this may sound more difficult than it is, but essentially the dock is nothing more than another cube or another box shape. So I want to come in here and let's grab a nice long line. Let's go ahead and grab a 60 brick line, and let's go ahead and drop it out here where we can rotate it. Now let's try that one more time. Let's grab that 60 brick line and drop it out there where we can rotate it. Go ahead and flip that horizontal there. I'm going to drag that in here. We're going to place this up underneath our doors. This is going to be the back edge of our dock. So I'm going to come in here and get that positioned up and think about how far I want this to extend beyond that door over there. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe we nudge that over just a little bit here. And let's go ahead and create another copy of this, keeping in mind that it's 4 bricks beyond that door, so we can make it the same over here. There we go. And we'll deselect that. And you can see here that we've created that line. So actually, I'm going to undo that deselect because I'm going to come over here and we're going to come in and lasso that line up again because we need another copy of this. So let's go ahead and grab our lasso tool. I know this may be kind of hard for you to see, but I'm going to come in and grab the additional portion of it that we created first right here and add that to my selection. And let's come out and make a copy of that. Now I want to drag that out over here first because I need to create these short lines before we can place that. So I'm going to go ahead and deselect that at this point, and let's go ahead and think about drawing in some of these bricks here for the other portion of this. So we need our 1 pixel brush for this, or our 1 pixel pencil for this, and we'll just come in and draw some of these. It's been a while since we've had to manually draw bricks, and that's really a good thing in the world of creating pixel art. Let's take a look here. How far did we come out? I think we could come out probably a little bit more. I think that'll work for right now. So let's go ahead and grab our longer line here. We're going to swing that into position. Now at this point I'm starting to notice that maybe we have our doors set just a little bit high. So that's not hard to fix at all. Again, we're just going to use our lasso tool. We're going to lasso these lines up that we've been drawing here. Just like so. And let's come in and lasso the doors themselves. And we're just going to start nudging those down here. Let's nudge those down to right about there. I think that'll work pretty well. So we'll deselect that, come in here and fill in some of these gaps that we just created. And then we need to draw in this other edge right here. Now, if you remember when we created the actual curb around the sidewalk for the perimeter of our building, this next step, creating depth here, is going to be no different. So essentially, we're just going to come in and lasso this piece right here. And let's go ahead and extend that by holding down Shift, and we're going to lasso this portion. And let's go ahead and hold Alt and nudge that down one so we can get a copy. And we'll go ahead and complete these lines here, just simply by zooming in and drawing in the corners. Just like so. Alright, so now all we have left to do to complete this dock design is to come in and actually draw in some legs that might be poking out underneath it. And you know, that brings up a good point. And we've got really a lot of geometric lines so far. We have very little, actually we have no curve lines yet. And curve lines are really important when it comes to pixel art because without them it all seems sort of static and sort of mathematical, if you will. Now curve lines are really going to provide a lot of variation, a lot of contrast against these harsh geometric lines. So it's a good idea to go ahead and think about mixing in curves and ellipses wherever you can throughout your work. Now we're actually going to handle that here in an upcoming lesson, but in the next lesson what I want to focus on is I want to focus on the roofs of this building. We've got 2 levels here, and what I'd like to do is go ahead and begin drawing in some of these roofs.